Welcome back, everybody. We will get to your voicemails in just a second. No joke, nothing silly this morning, only serious stuff. I started NYY Recaps in 2019 when the Yankees signed Gerrit Cole. And through the pandemic and through some tough seasons and some good starts, including this year, we've been here after pretty much every Yankees game. And we've operated by having our highlights available under the free use transformative laws. You know, basically we can show up to this point about 10 seconds of consecutive footage before it gets nabbed for a copyright claim. And once you get a copyright claim, MLB apparently needs our money as creators. They claim all the money for that video. So, you know, you do a video, you do a podcast, you might make a few $100, and MLB is claiming all of that because you use too much of the highlights. Now, it used to be no problem because you know, Frankie and I, Frankie's my highlight guy, Frankie Baseball, and I would collaborate and create, you know, very highly edited and very within the boundaries edits of the highlights for the games as part of this show. Now, in recent weeks, and I've mentioned this and a few other content creators have mentioned this as well, MLB has been claiming way more stuff. Way more stuff. It's gotten to the point where if you show highlights from a game, like a bunch of highlights from the same game, it doesn't matter how short the cuts are. It doesn't matter if you have 3 or 4 second cuts. If you have 4 or 5 clips from the same game, they're going to claim your video and take all your money from that video. And, you know, we've been operating under fair use. So it's up to us to kind of figure out what's going on. Fuzzy had the same situation. Pitching Ninja had the same situation. They've both been able to get it sorted. I reached out to both of those guys and to Major League Baseball Advanced Media this morning, and I'm hoping that you guys can help me out, that you guys can reach out and support the channel and say, hey, you know, what you guys are doing at MLB is it's really affecting the people who are trying to spread the word of the game and trying to, you know, create a bigger fan base and so forth. So we're still going to be here after every game, but full game highlights are gone. We just can't do them because it claims it every time. Now, for the time being, we're still able, as far as I can tell, to do the individual highlight reel loops. Like when we do the voicemail show, those never get claimed because they have highlights from everybody, from a bunch of different games. So it's a mix. So beginning immediately, we're going to go to that system for the post-game shows. Not going to be able to show the game highlights other than perhaps mixing in some of the individual highlights as part of their player reels when it goes by. I know that sucks. I know it's no fun. I'm still going to be here to talk about the games after each game, and I still appreciate everybody who's supporting and showing up. But, you know, as a community, until we get this sorted out, I know there's a lot of people who come into the comments and bitch like, oh, we want to see highlights. Why don't you put up the highlights? Because they just don't understand. They don't follow this closely. So, you know, I'm going to leave it up to the community to police people who are being jerks about us not having all the highlights. And we're basically going to do the Mike Francesa podcast for a while, where I hop on here and we talk about the game and we break it down on the most analytical way that we can, and do our best. And we're going to try and avoid any, you know, further potential highlight claims. So I appreciate everybody who has been a part of this channel. We're not going anywhere. We're still going to do the morning show. We're still going to have all the highlights for that. We got a bunch of like top 5 and top 10 stuff coming out soon. Going to do some more evergreen type stuff. But the post-game show, which is the bread and butter of this channel and that we do every night, is going to be severely impacted. You guys know that I like to give you the best possible show that I can. We've gone from just having like a couple of highlights in the upper right, just kind of looping throughout the show, to having detailed highlights with, you know, every player and, you know, pitching breakdowns and all that stuff. And I put in a lot of work on it, quite frankly. And MLB just basically changed the way that they're detecting these things and the way they're enforcing these things overnight. So we have to comply, and we're going to comply. But I just wanted to give you guys a heads up as to why the show will look different over the next, you know, until we, you know, period of time until we get it sorted out. But I am working to get it sorted out. I am working to, you know, I'll pay whatever licensing fee I can reasonably afford, and we'll go from there. But I appreciate everybody who stuck by this channel, and I hope you continue to support NYY Recaps. And it will help out, because we've lost a lot of revenue. If you join as a member, if you pick up something from the store, NYYRecaps.shop, we just put in a bunch of new hats and shirts and stuff. We got all these Aaron Judge hats and things like that. But I appreciate all the support, and I'll keep working to give you the best product that I can, the best podcast that I can, but it's going to look a little bit different. And I just wanted to let everybody know. So thanks a lot. Let's get to your voicemails.
Hey, it's Mike in Palm Coast, Florida. You mentioned the Spencer Jones trade for Miller. Yanks just can't make that trade because Spencer Jones is the plan B in case the Yankees can't re-sign Soto. So you'll have Dominguez, Judge, and Jones next year and for years to come, many years to come. So they just can't take a chance and do that. Soto doesn't sign, then now you're stuck.
I hear you, and I can certainly see the Yankees thinking that way, but they also have the opportunity, if Juan Soto signs elsewhere, to sign Alex Verdugo. Now, Alex Verdugo has done a very nice job for the Yankees this year. I think he's fit in perfectly. I don't know if they want to give him a long-term contract because he's about to hit 30 years old, but I love Verdugo, and I'd have no issue bringing him back if you have to trade Spencer Jones to go get Mason Miller. Listen, if you've got a chance to get the final piece to get over the hump and win a World Series, you go out and you do it, right? But we also have some pressing needs other than the bullpen. We're seeing the defense become an issue. Rizzo has really had a tough year defensively. So let's talk a little bit about that. Got another call coming.
Hello, Derek. This is Hugh from Bay Ridge in Brooklyn, and I'm very concerned about our infield. I mean, Rizzo's taken several steps backwards with both the bat and the glove, which is surprising. And at third base, we have no power. LeMahieu is probably over the hill. He's injured every year. And second base speaks for itself with Gleyber Torres. He's horrible defensively. He can't run. He can't hit anymore. And that's my commentary. Thank you.
All right, there's a lot to unpack there, but we got to go through it. So I am getting a little bit more concerned about Rizzo. Early on in the season, if you guys have been watching, you know that he made a lot of errors clustered together. And, I put out there, hey, look, this guy's been a great infielder for his entire career. It just doesn't make it doesn't make any sense that he would fall completely off of a cliff defensively. Now, he has regressed a little bit in recent years, but nobody was expecting him to be this bad defensively. And he just keeps making critical mistakes, and the Yankees have got to do something about it. Gleyber Torres, look, it is what it is. He's probably going to be gone after the season. He's almost certainly going to be gone after the season. He could be gone during the season. But, yeah, right now, the only plus defender on the infield is Anthony Volpe. Yankees have got to figure out that situation because you can't win with that many poor defensive players on the infield. I'm sorry.
Somebody said on your recap show that there were a lot of little things that cost us that game, and that's absolutely true. But the thing I think that most cost us the game is Aaron Boone. And I'm not one of these guys who, jumps on and jumps off the bandwagon about fire Boone. I've been saying that we need somebody better than Boone for the last couple of years. The problem as I see it is that Boone is one of these guys who has this dogma. He has this idea in his head about how to use pitchers, and he also thinks that he's the smartest guy in the room.
Look, I'm no huge Aaron Boone supporter, but I wouldn't put last night's game on him. I would say it's squarely on the defense for not making the plays. Rizzo, it comes to mind. And then Rojas sending Gleyber Torres from third, even though the ball had already pretty much reached the cutoff man, and he was going to get thrown out, and he did get thrown out. And then Clay Holmes comes in with a couple of runners on and serves up one of the hardest balls that he's allowed to be hit all season. So there's a lot of things that went wrong last night, and it all went wrong in a very short time, unfortunately. And Yankees have got to bounce back tonight because you can't lose a series to the Angels. You got to win the next two. I'm sorry. Last night's just not acceptable if you're a Yankees fan. But I'm no Boone lover. I'm no Boone defender. But last night was not on him.
Hey, Derek, the save situation. I just can't stay up to watch these games. Fell asleep and I woke up. And I thought maybe we would have won that game last night. The train was a rock and definitely in our favor. But it didn't happen. Oh well. But we're in a very good position. I don't see any American League East teams that really can stand in our way if we make the right moves.
The Baltimore Orioles are a very good team. I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you. The Baltimore Orioles, in my opinion, are still the favorites to win this division. They're a really good, really young team. They're not going to fade down the stretch because they're a bunch of young guys, energetic guys, and they got more on the way. Yankees are going to need to play better. Right now, they maintain a lead in the American League East, and West Coast trips are usually pretty tough. But as I said a minute ago, you can't lose 2 out of 3 to the Angels. Got to win the next 2, and then you got to take 2 out of 3 from the Giants. There's 4 months left to go. It would be a mistake right now to assume that the Yankees cannot be beaten, because they certainly can be. And they're going to need to play a little bit better, and I agree with you, they're going to need to make some moves. I still think they need a couple of bullpen arms, and it's starting to look like they need an infielder or 2. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about all the trades and all that stuff. And once again, thanks for the support. And, highlights obviously going away in the post-game show for now until we get that sorted. But I'll catch you next time. Looking to boost your sports betting game? Meet OddsJam, the ultimate ally for data-driven wagering. With 260-plus sports books, it's your go-to platform. Here's how it works. OddsJam's arbitrage tool spots differences in betting lines, letting you lock in risk-free profits. Plus, optimize bets with a positive EV calculator and track profits with a convenient bet tracker. Try it risk-free with a 7-day trial. Use code RECAPS for 35% off your first month. Link is in the description. Bet smart. Bet responsibly with OddsJam.